Alright, in this video I'm going to be making a custom panel. Some of the same concepts from our last one, but just kind of showing you a different way that you can start to use this information. So we're going to go and create a new family. Oh, it's wanting, I need to save this, so I will call it Alright, so we'll go to generic model adaptive again. And again we're going to create 4 points. Actually, let's create them a little closer this time. And then we'll make those adaptive. And once again, we will draw a line between each one. Right now I'm just doing it using the reference line. See if I can get away with that. I'll just check. Sure it's going to do what we want it to do. Alright, so that did not work. Alright, we'll try it the other way. And again, hit the reference. Go through each one. And I'm going to go a little faster through this since you've done this before. Alright, so now that we have that, what we're going to do is going to put a point right on top of that. But first we want to set the horizontal plane, so not the vertical ones, but the horizontal ones. You see that one right there? And then place our point, set, and we'll do this for each. Do not forget to do this. So the only way that this works, the relationship, you want, essentially what we're trying to do is get the relationship of that point to be specific to the horizontal plane of the adaptive component. And you'll see why right now. See this offset here, we're going to control through a parameter. So offset will be the offset from the original work plane. So let's stick that and you'll see what happens. We'll get a new parameter. We'll call this, let's say wall depth. Right now we'll leave it as type. Yeah. So now we've assigned offset as that, and under here we'll give that a depth. So let's say it's 1 foot. Now you see that that moved up 1 foot, perpendicular to our work plane. If we wanted to move it left or right, we could pick some of these other planes that are going in the vertical direction. So now we need to do that for each one. We already have a point there, so just grab it and then set that to wall depth, and then do that again. I'm going to hold down the control key, do these both at the same time. And we should see that get built out like that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and make this kind of a solid. So what we want to do is grab each of these points and let's build a line between them. and we're going to create a form. So now we have a form, a solid form, that should follow these points wherever it goes. Actually, you just hit the undo button. What I forgot to do is to make these 4 lines reference lines. And then now we're going to create the form. Alright, so what you should see is this follow. Alright, so that in itself is not that interesting, so let's make it a little bit more interesting. Alright, so what I want you to do now is to go ahead and select that form, and using the temporary hide function down here, these eyeglasses, you're going to hide the element. And in fact, we might see about hiding all the reference lines. Let's see if that works without hiding the... Okay, perfect. Alright, so let's draw first the diagonal between the adaptive components, and so that'll be that. Make sure it's a reference. Select these two. Same thing. And now we're going to put a point. Make sure that your snaps have the nearest. That's the only way that you'll be able to get this to snap in the middle of the line. And from there, we will do the same thing as far as doing the spline through points. I know this gets repetitive, but Revit wants it to be built in a very specific way. Okay, and now let's do the other corners above the offset. And the same thing. Place your points. Make sure they snap to the reference lines. Great. Okay, so we have that done. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start controlling where these points are on that diagonal. So we have, think of the upper these upper points being the exterior of the building. So those, let's make a parameter that places where it is in relationship on this line. So again, we'll get the normalized curve, and we'll create a parameter, and this will be the exterior, exterior 1. That'll be a type. And we'll see this one's closer to 1, so we'll make this the exterior 2. Okay, and again, we'll give it a similar relationship, or we'll give it a relationship so that exterior, it's 1 minus exterior 1. And the idea being that we'll be able to find kind of that perfect, if this is 0.07, it'll be 1 minus that 0.07. So this will get, within 0.07 of the end of the line, which is 1. Okay? Hopefully you follow that. So these two now have the same gap along that line. And so now we just need to assign these the appropriate ones. So this will get exterior 2. And this one will get exterior 1. Alright, cool. Alright, so now let's do a similar thing with these. Only now these are the interior. So let's select that one. And this will be called interior 1. And this will be an instance because we're going to want this to open and close. And we'll select this one. And this will be called interior 2. And let's go ahead and give it the calculation. So this will be 1 minus interior 1. So again, it'll get closer and closer to 1. It'll have the same similar relationship that we put up here. It has to be an instance. I forgot to do that. So let's go ahead and edit that. Make it an instance. And then now it should be good to go. Alright, now we just need to apply those parameters to the others. So this is close to 1, so we'll give it interior 2. And this one is close to 0, so we'll give it interior 1. Alright, sweet. Alright, so if this gets more open, or further away from the edge, it'll get actually more closed. That's good. Alright, so now let's create the form. So I'm going to select both the this interior and the exterior set. I'm going to, instead of doing solid form, I'm going to do void form. And what that did is it automatically took that solid form that we had hidden and it's created this void through it. That's great. Alright, so you can see how we can kind of start to define some very complex ideas with your curtain wall panel.